Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1, we're diving into a very special coin from the dawn of a new era in American numismatics. A coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but for those who know what to look for, it could be hiding an extraordinary secret. We're talking about the 1999 New Jersey State Quarter. That's right, just 25 cents. A coin you might have in your change jar, purse, or even lying forgotten in a drawer. But hold on, because this seemingly simple quarter could be worth a small fortune. If it happens to be one of the rarest of its kind, so sit back, pay close attention, and let's take a journey into the story, rarity, and hidden value behind the New Jersey State Quarter from 1999. Let's rewind to the late 1990s. The United States Mint had just launched one of the most popular and ambitious coin programs in its history, the 50 State Quarters program. Kicking off in 1999, this program was designed to honor each of the 50 states with its own unique reverse design on the U.S. quarter dollar. Each state's quarter would be released in the order they joined the Union. New Jersey, the third state to ratify the Constitution, had its quarter released as part of that first wave. And the design is stunning in its symbolism. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see the legendary image of George Washington crossing the Delaware River, flanked by members of the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. It's a moment frozen in time, heroic, defiant, and iconic. The words "Crossroads of the Revolution" appear beneath, a nod to New Jersey's central role in America's path to independence. Now, at first glance, this might just look like a beautiful coin and a great addition to any collection, but there's more to this story. Much more. Even though millions of these quarters were produced, Philadelphia struck over 363 million, and Denver struck over 299 million. Not all of them are created equal. Some 1999 New Jersey quarters are worth far more than face value. Why? Because of errors, misstrikes, and varieties that slipped through the mint's quality control and ended up in circulation. And that's where the treasure lies. Let's start with one of the most exciting possibilities, the double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck twice by the die, slightly misaligned, creating a doubled image. Look closely at the inscriptions like United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, or New Jersey. If you see ghost-like doubling on the letters, you may be holding a rare double die quarter, and these are highly sought after by collectors. Another major error that increases value is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly centered during minting, causing the design to shift toward one side, leaving part of the coin blank. A 5 to 20% off-center strike with the date and mint mark still visible makes it even more valuable. There's also the rare clad layer missing error. State quarters are made of two layers, an outer nickel layer and an inner copper core. Sometimes, the top layer peels or fails to bond properly. A New Jersey quarter missing its outer layer on one side will have a copper-toned appearance and looks unlike anything else in your change. These are incredibly collectible. Let's not forget about wrong planchet errors, where a New Jersey quarter was accidentally struck on a blank mint for a penny or foreign coin. These can be lighter, oddly colored, or thinner than standard quarters, and when discovered, they draw massive interest at auction. And of course, condition is everything. A coin that's been circulated, scratched, or worn down will be far less valuable than one that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially if it has a rare error. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can receive a numeric grade out of 70, and anything graded above MS 66, Mint State 66, is already considered a high-end piece. But here's something that many casual collectors miss: strike quality. Even if a coin looks perfect, if it has a strong, detailed strike and shows all the fine features, like sharp details on Washington's uniform or clean lines in the boat, it can command much higher prices. If you have a 1999 New Jersey State Quarter, here's what to look for. Obvious doubling of letters or numbers off-center designs, partial or full missing clad layers, odd weight or color that might indicate a wrong planchet, strong strike and fine detail, and most importantly, unblemished, uncirculated condition. Now here comes the moment you've all been waiting for. The grand reveal. Point 1. Rare and nearly flawless New Jersey State Quarter from 1999, struck with a major mint error and preserved in exceptional condition, was sold at a major auction for the incredible sum of $80,000. That's right. A coin worth 25 cents, sold for $80,000. That's the magic of numismatics. Ordinary coins with extraordinary stories, quietly hiding in everyday places. Whether it's a design error, a manufacturing mistake, or a perfect strike preserved through time, the possibilities are endless and thrilling. So, before you spend that state quarter, take a closer look. Because you never know, that little coin could be your ticket to an unbelievable discovery. Top 2. We're going to explore a coin that often gets overlooked, a quarter that many people pass around without a second thought. But here's the twist. Under the right conditions, this coin could be worth more than a brand new card. We're talking about the 2015 United States of America Kisatchie quarter, a coin that came out as part of the America the Beautiful series, which honored national parks and historic sites across the country. Now, don't let its modern appearance fool you. While this quarter may seem recent and common, certain rare versions of it have sold for jaw-dropping amounts of money. So let's dive deep into the story, symbolism, errors, and value of this extraordinary coin, and why you should check your change very carefully. First, a little background. The Kisatchie quarter was released in 2015 as the second coin of that year in the America the Beautiful Quarters program. It celebrates the Kisatchie National Forest, a breathtaking and ecologically rich forest located in the heart of Louisiana. Covering over 600,000 acres, Kisatchie is home to longleaf pines, unique wildlife, and a rich cultural history. And the coin's design reflects that beauty perfectly. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find a dramatic image of a wild turkey taking flight over a grassy landscape of tall pines, an homage to the diverse wildlife and dense woodlands that define Kisatchie. It's a coin that feels alive with motion and spirit, capturing the essence of nature and freedom. On the obverse, we have the familiar image of George Washington, just as we've seen on quarters since 1932, with inscriptions like United States of America, Liberty, and In God We Trust. Now here's where things get exciting for collectors. The 2015 Kisatchie quarter was minted in Philadelphia, PA, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. While hundreds of millions were struck, only a few carry the kind of errors or high-grade qualities that make them incredibly valuable in today's collector market. Let's break down what makes a Kisatchie quarter go from common pocket change to collector's gold. First and foremost, error coins. These are coins that were misprinted or struck incorrectly during the minting process, and they are the rarest and most valuable finds. Here are some of the errors that can occur on a 2015 Kisatchie quarter. 1. Double die errors. If you take a magnifying glass and look closely at the lettering, especially on the words Kisatchie, United States of America, or $quarter, you might spot slight doubling or overlapping. That's what collectors call a double die, and it happens when the coin design is impressed twice onto the same surface, but slightly misaligned. If it's dramatic and visible to the naked eye, it's even more valuable. Point 2. Off-center strikes. Imagine a quarter where the entire image is shifted, leaving part of the coin blank. That's called an off-center strike, and depending on how far off it is, the value can skyrocket. If the date and mint mark are still visible, collectors go wild for it. Point 3. Clipped planchet errors. This occurs when the blank metal piece that becomes a coin is miscut at the mint. It leaves behind a quarter that's missing a clean chunk, almost like someone took a bite out of it. Sounds crazy, right? But it's a genuine error and highly sought after. Point 4. Wrong planchet strikes. Imagine a quarter that was struck on a metal blank mint for a penny or a foreign coin. The weight, color, and size might be slightly off, and that kind of anomaly is exactly what collectors love, because it shouldn't exist at all. Point 5. Missing clad layer. The US quarter has an outer layer of nickel covering a copper core, but sometimes that outer layer doesn't bond properly. If your Kisatchie quarter looks strangely copper-colored on one or both sides, you might have a missing clad layer error, and that's big news. But errors aren't the only thing that can make this coin special. Condition plays a massive role. Most quarters from 2015 are still circulating today. They've been scratched, dropped, pocketed, and tossed in jars. But a coin that was never used, what collectors call uncirculated or mint state, can be worth a lot more, especially if it has a high grade from a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. Coins that score above MS67 are considered extremely rare for a 2015 issue. Combine that with a strong strike, clean fields, sharp detail, and perhaps even a visible error, and now you're talking serious value. And let's not forget about the proof versions, struck in San Francisco with mirror-like finishes and sharp details. These were never meant for circulation and were sold directly to collectors. But even among proofs, certain deep cameo coins with flawless surfaces are rare and pricey. So before you dismiss that 2015 quarter in your hand, stop and take a closer look. Here's what you should be checking for. Unusual doubling of the text part of the coin design, missing or shifted odd coloring or exposed copper sharp, flawless detail, and luster or anything that just looks different, because now it's time for the grand finale. The price point: one exceptionally rare 2015 Kisatchie quarter featuring a dramatic mint error and preserved in immaculate condition, recently changed hands in a private sale for an astonishing $77,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent coin. Sold for $77,000. And that's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. The idea that something so ordinary, so easy to overlook, could turn out to be a one-of-a-kind treasure hiding in plain sight. So the next time you go through your pocket change or open up a dusty old coin jar, keep your eyes open. That little 2015 Kisatchie quarter might just be your lucky find. Top 3. We're about to take a journey to the Sunshine State. Not through sandy beaches or theme parks, but through a 25-cent piece that could be hiding in your change jar, purse, or pocket. Yes, we're talking about the 2004 Florida State quarter, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance. But in the world of numismatics, some special versions of this quarter have turned into collector gold. And believe it or not, one of these coins sold for a staggering amount. More on that in just a moment. So sit tight, pay close attention, and listen carefully, because what you're about to hear might just make you check every single quarter you come across from now on. Let's rewind to the early 2000s. The U.S. Mint was deep into the wildly successful 50-state quarters program, which began in 1999 and ran until 2008. Each state was honored with a unique design representing its history, culture, or natural beauty. And in 2004, it was Florida's turn. Now, Florida has always been a state of firsts: first flights, first space launches, and first landings by early explorers. That's exactly what the 2004 Florida quarter celebrates. On the reverse side, the coin features a Spanish galleon, representing Juan Ponce de Leon and the Age of Exploration, a space shuttle launching into orbit, symbolizing Kennedy Space Center and the state's place in modern discovery, and the state outline with a palm tree, a nod to its tropical beauty. Together, these images tell the story of Florida's past, present, and future. A bold and adventurous design packed into a tiny piece of metal. On the obverse, as always, is the timeless profile of George Washington. But don't let the familiar look fool you. Some of these coins carry secrets that only the most careful eyes can see. Although the U.S. Mint produced over 481 million Florida quarters in Philadelphia and another 240 million in Denver, not all of them are the same. And this is where things get exciting. Some of these Florida quarters have rare mint errors, and those are the ones collectors dream of finding. These aren't just small mistakes. Some are so significant they can turn a pocket change coin into a high-value collectible. Let's break down a few of the rare errors and features that make the 2004 Florida quarter worth hunting for. First up, the double die error. This is when the die that strikes the coin impresses the design more than once, slightly off from the original alignment. This creates a noticeable doubling of letters or numbers. On the Florida quarter, look closely at the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and Florida. If any of these appear thick, fuzzy, or ghosted, you may be holding a double die coin, and those are extremely desirable. Next, the off-center strike. Imagine a coin where the entire design is shifted to one side. leaving part of the surface blank. This is an off-center error, and the more dramatic it is, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. Then there's the clipped planchet error. Sometimes, during the minting process, the blank piece of metal that becomes the coin is improperly cut, leaving a chunk missing from the edge. These quarters look like someone took a small bite out of them, and they are worth far more than face value. One of the rarest finds is the wrong planchet error. That's when a quarter design is accidentally struck on a blank mint for a different denomination, like a penny or dime. If your Florida quarter is thinner, smaller, or oddly colored, this might be what you have. And these rare misstrikes can fetch incredible prices at auctions. Missing clad layer errors are also possible. A standard quarter is made of a copper core with a nickel-clad outer layer. Sometimes, this layer doesn't bond properly, and you'll end up with a quarter that looks bronze or copper-colored on one or both sides. These coins are extremely eye-catching, and collectors love them. But wait, condition matters just as much as rarity. A coin that has been circulating for years with scratches, dirt, or worn details might only fetch a few bucks. But a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded highly by services like PCGS or NGC, could be worth a small fortune. Coins graded MS68 or higher are extremely rare and bring top dollar, especially when combined with a mint error. And let's not forget the S-mint-proof coins, which were struck in San Francisco with mirror-like finishes and sharp detail. If you have a Florida-proof quarter with a rare error and it's been preserved perfectly, you might just be sitting on something extraordinary. So, what should you look for in your 2004 Florida quarter? Obvious doubling of letters or numbers, a design that's off-center, any clipped or irregular edges, discoloration, or missing layers, the coin being thinner or oddly shaped, extremely sharp details, and luster indicating mint state quality. Now, for the moment you've been waiting. 4.1 Rare 2004 Florida State quarter, struck with a dramatic mint error and preserved in nearly flawless, uncirculated condition, was sold to a serious collector for a life-changing sum of $75,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single quarter, just 25 cents, turned into $75,000 because of its rarity, condition, and the eyes of a collector who knew what they were looking for. So don't ignore those coins sitting in your change jar. Take a closer look. You never know what secrets might be hiding in plain sight. Top 4, we're turning the spotlight on a fascinating piece of American history, the 2008 Arkansas State Quarter. At first glance, this coin might look like just another quarter from the 50 State Quarters series, but listen carefully, because this little piece of metal has stories and secrets that make it incredibly special and potentially very valuable. Let's dive deep into the Arkansas quarter, understand its design and symbolism, then uncover the rare errors and unique features that make some of these coins worth thousands. Yes, thousands. And even a jaw-dropping amount at auction. Released in 2008 as part of the 50 State Quarters program, the Arkansas quarter honors the natural beauty and cultural heritage of the state, known as the Natural State. The coin's reverse design features a majestic diamond, representing the crater of Diamond State Park, the only diamond-producing site in the United States open to the public. Surrounding the diamond, you'll see rice stalks and mallard ducks, key symbols of Arkansas's agriculture and wildlife. The obverse side carries the familiar profile of George Washington, a symbol seen on every U.S. quarter since 1932, with the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 2008. While millions of these quarters were produced for circulation, what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary are mint errors and the condition of the coin. Let's talk about those errors, because this is where the magic happens. One of the most sought-after mistakes on the Arkansas quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice by the minting press with a slight misalignment, causing a doubling effect on the lettering or imagery. Look closely at the words Arkansas, United States of America, and even the date. If you spot thickened or doubled letters, congratulations. You might have found a double die coin, which can be extremely valuable. Another exciting error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank slips during minting and the design doesn't hit the center of the coin, leaving part of the surface blank. Off-center strikes vary in rarity depending on how far off the design is shifted. Coins with the date and mint mark fully visible but off-center are especially prized. We also have the clipped planchet error, where the coin blank wasn't cut correctly before striking, resulting in a coin with a missing chunk or an uneven edge. These bite mark-looking coins are unusual and highly collectible. Less common but equally fascinating are wrong planchet errors, where the quarter is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or coin type. For example, an Arkansas quarter struck on a penny or nickel planchet would be incredibly rare and command a premium price. Sometimes, you'll also find coins with a missing clad layer. Normally, quarters are made of a copper core covered by a nickel-copper layer. If that outer layer fails to bond, the coin might show a copper color instead of the usual silvery hue, making it stand out dramatically. But rarity alone isn't enough to command top dollar. Condition is king in the coin collecting world. Circulated coins, even with errors, tend to have lower value compared to those in mint state condition, which means the coin looks nearly perfect, as if it just left the mint. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC provide certification and grades that can greatly increase a coin's market value. Among the Arkansas quarters, those that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially with verified mint errors, are the true gems that collectors scramble to acquire. Oh, how much are we talking about here? Well, hold on to your seats because one rare, flawless 2008 Arkansas State quarter, exhibiting a significant mint error, recently fetched an astounding $73,000 in a private sale. Yes, a single quarter, worth just 25 cents face value, turned into a treasure worth $73,000 thanks to its rarity, condition, and the watchful eyes of collectors who understand its true worth. If you're sitting on a handful of state quarters, especially from the later years of the 50 state quarters series, take a moment to inspect them under good light. Look for any unusual features, doubling, off-center images, or odd coloration. This is what makes coin collecting endlessly fascinating. Sometimes, the tiniest details unlock incredible stories and astonishing values. Top 5, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American heritage, the 2015 Saratoga State Quarter. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter in your pocket, but if you listen closely and pay attention to every detail, you'll discover why this coin is turning heads and captivating collectors worldwide. The 2015 Saratoga Quarter was minted to celebrate the rich history and culture of Saratoga County, New York, a place famous for its mineral springs, historic horse racing track, and vibrant autumn foliage. The coin's design features the iconic Saratoga race course, with a jockey riding a horse in full stride, surrounded by elegant laurels. This image captures the spirit of tradition and excitement that Saratoga embodies. That on the other side, we see the classic profile of George Washington, a timeless symbol on every quarter. While millions of these coins were produced for circulation, not all Saratoga quarters are created equal. Some carry hidden traits and errors that make them extraordinarily rare and highly sought after by coin enthusiasts and collectors alike. Now let's explore some of the rare minting errors that can dramatically increase the value of this coin. One of the most exciting and rare errors is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice with a slight misalignment, creating a doubling effect on the letters, numbers, or even the horse's details. If you spot thicker or shadowed lettering in Saratoga or the date, 2015, you might have stumbled upon a double die coin, a true gem in the coin world. Another striking error to look out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank shifts during striking, causing the design to be pressed off the center. Coins with noticeable off-center designs, especially those where key details remain visible, are incredibly rare and treasured by collectors. Then there are the clipped planchet errors, where the coin appears as if a small bite has been taken out of its edge. These arise when the metal blank isn't properly cut before being stamped, making the coin unique and valuable. Additionally, there are wrong planchet errors, a phenomenon where a Saratoga quarter might be accidentally struck on a blank mint for another denomination or metal composition. These mistakes are exceedingly rare and can fetch very high prices at auction, but rarity and errors are only part of the story. Condition plays a massive role. A Saratoga quarter that's been circulated, showing wear and tear, will never fetch the same price as a coin in mint condition. Those preserved with sharp details, original luster, and minimal handling often graded as MS67 or higher, are the ones collectors clamor for. Now, the really fascinating part. What is this coin worth? Recently, a flawless, rare 2015 Saratoga State Quarter, graded in superb condition and exhibiting one of the significant mint errors we just discussed, sold for a staggering amount of $70,000. Yes, $70,000 for a single quarter originally worth just 25 cents. So if you have a Saratoga quarter in your collection or even tucked away somewhere, this might be the moment to inspect it carefully. Underneath that everyday look could be a rare treasure waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future rare coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!